Alright guys, we go with the winners final between Hut and Dinky King for the AoE 4 Tournament 4 by Zero Empires. So we've got French versus Mongolian. I can't read flags. So instantly speed arrowing. Got Dinky on his Mongols. Up against Hut's French. So, second scout already for the French player. So we'll go reveal all. No need for a second scout as the Mongolians. Because you got the Khan. To help with the house, right next to the town centre. They'll be finishing up in a pasture to generate some sheep. Man, the beauty of the Khan is just how fire and forget you can play around wolves. Must be really nice playing against Rus, but I haven't actually casted a Mongols versus Rus yet. So I've got no idea what it actually looks like at this level of play. Got a big haul for the sheep there. All that pasture. You're queuing up some more sheep. And I don't know how having it on the Ovu works. Does it just speed it up in general? Is it normally like 2 minutes 40 or? How does speeding it up out of the Ovu work? Do you actually have to commit stone to it or? Someone tell me in the comments because I don't know. I'm a noob. Somehow I almost made it to 1300 elo. So School of Cavalry. Hut really doesn't care about farm placement around the town centre, does he? Is he intending to win this one quick? I suppose against Mongols you don't really want anything exposed either because it's just so difficult to deal with. But then, you know, if you do ever have to transition to farms, it becomes difficult if you're not leaving your space around TCs and mills. Because then you're just reducing the amount you can get around it perfectly, and then you got to throw up another or distance gather. I don't know. The building's going to have more health than the villager, isn't it? Anyway. So, Dinky, what does he need for age up? Is it the same cost? Yeah, it is. It's just that the buildings have all such weird costs compared to the other civs. Not all of them, really just town centre. It's like 900 wood. But I suppose stone works like a resource like energy in other games, so to speak. All the deer stones, yam speed. Cavalry and traders near an outpost. Okay, so the outposts are going to get a buff where they're all going to give cavalry and caravans hella movement speed. And with that hella movement speed, you get good eco and better army positioning for raiding and defending and reinforcing. Only one villager building it though. Very casual of Dinky. He really wants to gather a lot of eco behind this. And meanwhile, I mean, he's got access to his stables, but he can't. Oh, he can build horsemen from age 1. But he needs the wood to be able to do so. Meanwhile, he's just gathering a shitload of food. Is he going to go straight to age 3, or what's he trying to do here? Because in the meanwhile, Hart has his age 2. Isn't going to field any knights, but he's got 400. Oh, sorry, this is Dinky I'm looking at. So Hart has 350 stone. Is he trying to go for an age 2 town centre into pushing? Might as well just use this pain. Stop being lazy. So Dinky can look at going to age 3. Well, he can very soon, I think. What's he need? Oh, 1200, 600, okay. It looks like Hut's going to transfer off the mill onto... What's he doing here? Oh, second town centre over here. So he's already got that age 2 town centre over his opponent. While Dinky gonna go for age 3. Making use of the extra gold out of that, but this deer stone's not really going to give him any real value just yet. And knights now coming out in the field for Hut, so Dinky's Khan's going to have to be a bit careful here. When I first started, I thought that was like a way to insult people, that fucking splash thing. I didn't realize it was like a spell the Khan actually casted that gave him a buff. So I apologize to the guy that I insulted in one of my first games about that. So anyway, we got the Great Escape going on here, and the Khan does get out free. And so Dinky gone on to age 3 behind this now, and his gold eco is going to be wicked because all the gold dropped off here is going to be worth twice as much. Not twice as much, 50% more. So his income per minute is going to look really solid. It's going to be not quite shown there, I don't think, because that's only assuming standard. Well, there's some knights out in the field against lancers. Lancers even stronger than knights. I think lancers are even stronger than knights. I think upgraded though, the knights are stronger. I'm not too sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. A bit of a chase on here. 2v4 is never good. There's some tidy garrisoning here. Hut can take a nice fight here. And really force Dinky to have to retreat, because fighting underneath the TC is just going to mean he bleeds extra damage, and now that there is some spears in the mix, it's going to be very dicey for him to stick around there. Double stables here for Dinky. No range on the way yet for... here we go. Now we're... oh, sorry. I was saying no range just as he was throwing it down. So he's going to be able to access the horse archers, which are going to be a real pest now that Hut's looked at fielding the spearmen rather than just fielding another stables for more knights. Because I mean, the knights are going to be outrun, but if they get the charge off, they will catch. Whereas the spearmen are never catching up to a horse archer, but they are very expensive to get on. Lots of knights. So being able to get the spearmen gives you that really cost-effective snaring unit that you can just mass up a little bit quicker, a little bit easier than the knights. So Hut walling in, protecting himself. Bit of an engagement going on now. They can't able to make it out. That lance is very low. With the use of all arrows. So Springled replacement on the way. Now Hut forcing Dinky to retreat. We started making any Mangadar yet? No, not yet, I don't think. He's just got the Khan. He's trying to get a hold of the relics. But he's going to try and be brave and go for the distant one. If he can. And he can, ooh, he's flank right through this army. Get a couple of Vil kill. We'll get a Vil kill. And keep on running from there. Another villager kill here for Dinky, but now that he's committed, he's going to have to find a way out of Hut's base and to meet up with a substantial army to try and force Hut to retreat here, because Hut is going to be able to chase him to the ends of the earth with this unit count he's got here. With only the Khan in harassing, it's not going to kill anything anytime soon. And meanwhile, some well-positioned spears catching these knights, while the shaman gonna have to make a slow venture back home. Another shaman heading out to grab a relic. I don't think Hut's looked at going for relics just yet. It's not been his concern so far. Just making use of that double Vil production. Trying to pressure Dinky where he can. But Dinky's doing well to grab all these relics. That one, not far positioned outside his base. And Dinky has a marker tucked away, has a couple of relics secured. So that's the prayer tent. So the market, he hasn't got any caravans out yet. He's bringing this other relic back home as well. So he's going to have 3 relics before long. Hut, in the meanwhile, does have nice field position, and for now I think he might be slightly ahead in terms of... Yeah, he is quite a little bit ahead in terms of army size. So Hut, a little bit slow in the castle age, but bigger army. 51 eco pop for Dinky versus 76 for Hut. 34 mil versus 31. So army sizes are actually pretty similar. Hut's really ahead by eco size at the moment, so he might be able to outgather Dinky through a couple of these fights. But Dinky does have the relics on his side, and Hut hasn't actually started gathering any, gaining any sacred shrines yet. And ooh, if that shaman had have got away for a clean break, which he's not, I was going to say a bit dangerous doing that. But I mean, he probably, if he had have snuck away over to here, he could have got a bit of value. Because there is one over this side. Ooh, Dinky's forgotten about the fact that he's got a couple of shaman there already. So that's going to cost him a bit of gold. He could be spending elsewhere. Well, he does have a little bit of gold in the bank. He's actually starved for food at the moment. And Hut certainly has a slight gathering advantage over him. But these relics, particularly if Dinky manages to grab that 4th one, he's already up to 3. If he can grab that 4th one, possibly even get on this 5th one, he can definitely make up for the villager difference and really punish Hut for going for such a commitment in his population to it. Particularly once you max out, sometimes less is more in terms of the vill count, and having secured sacred sites and having gotten the relics will be what tides you over, while you can field a slightly bigger army. But there is a knight on patrol here, so seeing that sacred site go up for grabs, Dinky's tried to grab it, but the knight is going to pick off the shaman. And that's they're not free. Nothing's free in this world, and particularly once you go higher up in the ranks, you start to really notice. So losing another monk, and then yeah, these guys just sitting here. That relic sort of not doing anything. This can all get snatched up by Hut here, while Dinky's trying to mount a fight before Hut really catches up in these towers. So that sacred site can get neutralized. Ooh, Dinky's just realized he's going to have to take the long way round now. And this other monk, what it's going to wait here to camp the shrine. So Dinky losing a little bit of health on his knights, but able to, Hut losing a little bit of health on his knights, but able to really draw Dinky's attention here. See if he can work his way through here. Ooh, now Dinky, it's one a bit of a tight spot, because these villagers, if they can get out here, ooh, Dinky's going to pick a lot of them off. But bearing in mind, Eco Pop is 61 to 97 in favour of Hut. Bleeding a couple of villagers isn't quite such a big deal for Hut at the moment. If he can catch this army out though, it's a big blow. He's going to try and aggressively fort this sacred. Does pick off that monk this time. But meanwhile, Dinky going to head back to return a 4th relic. He's trying to push this tower, but it's already got the it's got a couple of units garrisoned in it, and it has already got the Springwood upgrade, so it is going to be able to tear down individual crossbowmen quite quickly. Individual archers, sorry, quite quickly. There's a whole bunch of arbs here in the French army. There's just archers here in the back line for the Mongol player. So Hut looking to strike at his opponent, but Dinky also looking to do the same, and he's brought some trebs forward. But he's now got the chance to try and surround his opponent. The trebs are just going to sit here in waiting. The fort going down. The outpost, sorry. The Khan buff's being popped. Mongol player wants to take the fight and give himself the option to back out because they do get a speed buff as well. Archer's going to deal some crucial damage there. They're actually going to eat some damage from the crossbowman, which is good because it gives the lancers some time to get in against a non-counter. I mean, without being attacked by their range counter. But I don't know if Dinky's got enough to hold on here because Hut, an impressive front line. And these archers just not quite as good against the knights as regular crossbowmen. And I mean, with that many outposts stacked up, Hut can't really stick around, but I think that's one fight for him. But in the meanwhile, there is some harass here. A lancer and a couple of bowmen here from the Mongol player, but the French player quick to respond. He's going to be able to clean this up pretty soon. But behind this, Dinky, good control of the sacred shrines once again. Sacred sites, shrines. He's even got some outposts here with Springald incoming. But in the meanwhile, a lot of stables here for our French player. Hut is doing a wonderful job at controlling that right side sacred shrine site. Sorry. Another Springald in placement for Hut here. So he's going to be able to take this off Dinky very soon. Listen to the power. They're even destroying buildings. Well, fell just short of the knight, I think. Ooh, so Imperial Keep, the Red Palace, going up right in the middle of the map to act as a huge distraction for Dinky to try and focus down, but at the same time he's got to deal with this massive French army from Hut. He's not got much of a front line to deal with, and GG, well played. Game number 1 goes to Hut. So we go to game number 2. Just a sec, I'll just have a drink.